Welcome back to the 2 hours per day coding session. In this playlist that I'm trying to post my 2 hours per day of coding journey, I recommend always for people to do 2 hours a day whenever they're trying to learn how to code. And by doing these live stream, I'm able to show you how I apply that to myself. So we're already up to already up to day 19. So last time we implemented this whole pagination feature. So we already have a server running here, and you can see that if we click on next here, we reload the relevant post, etc. Now, this is only running in our all post module, but if we try to go into a user profile, that stopped working altogether. But over here, we would have to implement again this whole feature of the pagination. So what I think would be smarter is to basically make this post feed available regardless of the view that you're in. Now I think we need to implement a little bit of extra logic here. We're basically gonna have to start adding some new logic here to the post feed, because we're gonna be reusing it also for the all post feature and also for the user profile feature. So what that means is that we're gonna have to keep track of this here, of the user. Yeah, so here, when we render user profile, as we're doing now, we are inputting into that like which user we should render, and this is tied to the database query to get all the post office objects for that specific user. So something like that we would have to add up here as well. Yeah, so in the main page we have a new post form and a post feed where um, okay, so that's sort of the basic thing. So when we render a user profile, that's up here. Um, the user profile, um, we have this use effect here, and that's returning to us um, all of the user posts. Now I have two use effects. The first one um, basically just renders the top part. So just renders the information above here. Um, and that's it. And so all the posts, we want to only have one entity, probably in the whole app, only have one component that's handling the post feed, a request from a post engine, and what it takes is like the parameters of what it is that we're requesting. So what I want to do right now is in the user profile, I want to delete, let's see, profile. I want to delete this use effect here. Okay. That ends over here, and then that. So here we're getting all the posts for the user. We're going to do that differently this time. So that's all we have to put in here for now. And so the user profile is really just, wait a second, we took out this, but we have data that user posts. 1 second. Yeah, so the set post feed, we could get rid of it, which is this whole thing here. Set following, follow button, and set details, those are all from our other use effects. So now we can delete this. Okay, we won't need that anymore. And if we reload here, you'll see we still have these posts here. However, this is coming from like a regular component. So now in this post feed, I want to take a look over there for a second. Where is it? It's, yeah, here it is. It takes some props. What are the props that it takes? It takes a reload. So that's probably under a dependency on the use effect. Let me see. Yeah, props.reload. And the post feed also takes a set user handle requested user profile. Let's see. What does that do? It's a function that changes the user ID, right? Again, it's a function. It's a function that when you click on it, it changes the view, but before it does, set request user profile, user ID. So we're passing um, the change view. I think that's how we go from all. Okay, 1 second. I'm seeing a message here from Gustavo. Bro, just got into an engineering college. Very nice. Computer science, how to start with programming. So just take a look on the channel here. There's a video. It's like the roadmap to all of Harvard's courses. It's a video that has about, I think it has over 600,000 views. Take a look over there. I explain everything, how to do all those courses. Maybe if between now and the time you go into college, I don't know, maybe have a few months, you could do one or two courses from out of the three or four that I mentioned over there. And so I think that's a good probably investment of the summer. And that's it. Obviously, also eat well, sleep well, exercise. That's also always good goals for the summer. That way, when the fall comes in and now you're starting school, you're gonna have the energy. But I definitely would do the Python course first and the CS50 main. So just take a look at the video. Everything is explained. In the first comment, there's links there for you to take the course through them directly without having to pay and getting a free certificate. Okay, so here we have a problem. I don't know what it is. Post feed. Okay, like I mess with the user profile here. So let's see again. Use effect, if following. Ah, and set the following. And then this div here. Let's get rid of this. Div. Yeah, I think this will do. Let's try it. And over here, we're gonna have to delete. Let me see here. Yeah, I think it's from here on. It's probably all of this. Yeah. Um, okay, let's see if it works now. What are they talking about? 208? What is the issue here? I don't know. It's like all stuck all of a sudden. It's just a crazy bug. Something broke here. Okay, so in my test 3 profile, we have use effect, set following, if follow button, okay, following, and then this div here, which goes all the way up to, and this is the enclosing div. I think this is correct. Let's see if it still works. Yeah, it's still working. Okay. We have this div here, which I believe goes all the way up to here. Then this enclosing div. Okay, so that works. And the way that we get the user profile is by passing the variable request user profile. Okay, so this is what we um, should put in there as well. We're gonna have a post feed with um, a post feed where the okay. Yeah, so from the post feed, right, you can always click on one of the posts to go into a user profile. And so that's why we're passing this handle request to user profile, because you're making the request from the post itself. Let me just take a look quickly what this does. So it sets request to user profile, which is this variable here, um, as an integer, and then it changes the view. So it resets the view, I guess. Um, and so we have to keep that functionality. In order to get the user profile, we are passing a user variable here. So let's, or a property, let's pass that as well into the post feed. Um, And I would say that now in this post feed as well, we're gonna have to pass that. However, over here, um, this is always gonna be 0, let's say. Um, 0 is equal to const default user profile default all user posts. Okay, I know that's a big one, but yeah, so this will always be const request user profile set. I don't even want to have a setter. The default will always be a 0. Default all user posts equals 0, and so that'll be here always. So the user that we're requesting when we're trying to load all of the posts will always be this default all user posts. And over here, whatever requests the user profile. So the idea here is that now we have to pass that data. Now that we are passing this new user2 data into into the post feed, now inside of the post feed, we have to define what that would do. What added functionality can we achieve from importing this new variable of default? So let's go over here. Let's delete this whole use effect. Let's see if we're still good here. Yeah, we're still loading. Okay. Let's get rid of this post feed. Now we should be okay. Let's see. Test tree. Okay, very good. So now it's still working correctly. Um, we have all that paginator logic over there. Okay, so this seems okay. Let's see. Um, so I want to actually paste here the use effect from the, this is all the use effect that we deleted before. So I'm just gonna mark it here. Okay, and I'm gonna mark it down here as well. So this is just stuff here, just some personal notes here. Yeah, so I guess the idea is to get rid of the request type for both the homepage, which has all the user posts or had. Ah, um, yeah, it's not working because I have all the stuff here. Anyhow, we'll edit it in a minute, but the idea is um, that I think we want to get rid of our request type. So let's find out where that is in our post engine. So our post engine, right, we have if data request type equals following, or um, mm, 1 second. Okay, let's see. So when the page loads, um, it renders this app. The app has so if view is true, we're going to be looking at all of the posts. Okay. Um, so here we would have to input, um, yeah, in the new post form. Yeah, so here we would have to input our type, not the user. So for all posts, um, request type, request type is equal to, and let's see, I think we could do a string like that, and the request type will be following. 1 second. All posts. Okay. So now that's the request type for when we want all the posts of the post feed. Now inside of the post feed, so this is the actual post feed code. This everything inside of the green is just a template, or not a template, something that I used before. I'm reusing it now. Um, so basically, noticing, I'm just noticing that we hardwire all posts here. So the only thing really we need to pass is um, the request type. I think we've consolidated more or less those two. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I think I know what's going on here. Finally, so I do want to still pass this type of all post, and again, we have different ones. We have also user profile, so let's pass it as well. Um, that would be if somebody is requesting a user profile. So user two, um, I'm going to leave this the way it is and just going to add here type or type. Yeah, yeah. Which kitchen? Okay, so we are back. I've canceled a lot of stuff here in this coding session. Just I'm trying to basically arrive to a very simple, which I think this is the whole point of the course or of learning React, which is I want to factor out everything into one post feed. Now that post feed can take a couple arguments. That's not an issue, but we do want to have one post feed. I feel like that'll help just to put it somewhere else. If we need to put it in new pages, that's the whole point of using React. Like you just take these components and add them okay to wherever you want. So okay, so we have the type now, user profile or all posts. So now we're gonna take a look at the post feed, which is right here. The post feed takes props. What are those props? The properties would be user two, reload, set user, etc. Now, here in the props engine, um, the request type, again, we said it's going to be props dot type. Let's see if that still works. It does actually. Yeah, it does. Um, and if we go into user profile, test two, it should show here. Um, let's see. Test two. Okay, so it should show something here. Let's see why it's not. Um, there's some error here in the JSON data. Yeah, unexpected character line 3 column of the JSON data. Okay. Anyhow, we have to um yeah, I would just pass this user two over here. So just trying to make sure everything looks the same here. So we have a reload prop set user user2 and type. So I think we're good here. Over here, we're just going to pass something called null, or just null it. Okay, so now these two have the same props. That's step one. And so the type will be user profile. So now our return here should have very similar fields. So again, our post here, basically in all of the three cases, all it really does is desire user posts. So it just returns a list or array of posts in all the cases, and then that data that's put into a data response. We have the registers is user posts, number of pages, current page. Okay, so let's see up here in our post engine, request type props dot type. And so here the request type is going to be all posts. Okay, that's what we're sending. In this example here, we are sending here inside of the props. We're doing props dot type, and that turns out inside we have just a string that says all posts. It'll hit here. It'll return. It'll return this whole thing here. Oh, go back. Props.type. I don't even think we need to have that in here. Yeah, so props.type. Obviously, we have the requested number as well, the page number as well. Which is handled in here somewhere. And I do think we have other things though, like request type equals following. It does this, but if it's user profile, we need to have a requested user field in here. So we're going to do that. Requested user. Yeah. And we're going to say that is props dot I think it's user2. Props dot user2. So it was right here. User2. Okay. So that'll be a request to user. This is the only place where it's required. So request to user, okay. And on the way back, we have user posts, number of pages, and the current page. So let's see, user post, number of pages, and the current page. Yeah, I think it's props page number. Let me see 1 second. Yeah, this current page comes back to wherever, and we do have to handle it. So let's see if we have somewhere here. In the post feed, we have the paginator. Props that page number. Yeah, that goes in here, the page number and the paginator. And the paginator lives inside of the post feed, and so the paginator uses props.page number. Okay. Now I'm looking for a function that'll set the page number. So I'm looking for where are we using this function? Wait. over here, instead of all post, we want to have the third case for request type, which is following. And I think we're covered. Post feed. And now I would like to, so I think loading the static, I'm loading that static inside of my React.js file. I've declared what my post features look like. I've declared all of the variables that it needs. And here's our return. So I wonder now how I can import. So let's use the AI for that. So CS50 AI. What's the question? I have React.js inside of the static folder in Django. How do I import it? Import the component from it into a new HTML template. Template, I don't know, following. So it sounds like we're getting into a complicated area here, trying to make all this stuff work. So how do I compile a React component? Okay, so I think we're gonna have to change some things here. This seems to be like way over my training from the course. It's like, how do I export all this? I don't really know. I mean, let's see if the import static is gonna work. Let's try that. And so inside of following, it's network.layout. So let's see that for a second. Yeah, so we're loading here a style sheet from here. And then we're also loading this here and link href equals this and this and this. It will be static network / react.js. We just wrote, and that should be it. And the relationship should be there's no relationship. I think it's just that it's just a static file like that. Okay. In theory, I mean, if we just go into following and forget everything that it's saying here, even take this whole post feed out. I mean, that's the idea. Take it all out. We should just be left with this here. All the posts work. User 2, user 3 has 2 posts. So this is all working. Now if we hit following, it doesn't work. So let's see why. Here's my layout HTML again. So we have static. That's what layout HTML looks like. This is inside layout.html in Django. Okay, so it's not link. He says that it's a script like so. So it's not a link. It's a script. Okay. Source. Okay. Let's try again. We have layout HTML. And we have following HTML. Let's see again. So extends network layout. It loads a static and it renders all of this. Type is following. I mean, I don't see what the issue here is. Let's see. All post works, test tree. There's 2 of these, okay. And then if I hit following, I don't even see anything. So let's try without the post feed, right? I mean, it should say following at the very least. It says following, and then if we try to put this, no, I think there's something that I need to render. How to render? I put a ton of logic for a post feed, including variables. these, how can I use the in a new HTML in Django? So it looks like I have to run Bavel, or I have to compile that JS file that we made. How to compile. How to compile one React JS file. Okay, so we have, I don't really know. How do I do this? I mean, does anybody know how to compile React JS? Install Node.js and npm. Okay, so let's do that. Install Node.js. Pip install Node.js. Okay, so like this. Let's try. Okay, so it looks like it installed Node.js, and your project directory initializes a new Node.js. Okay. And so CS50, network, okay. And I guess inside here, if I cd into my network, cd into static, cd into network, ls, we have our react.js and in your product directory. Online compile React file. React.js. Let's try it. Okay, so where's our React.js? Here it is. Copy paste all of it. Let's see if this will let us compile here. No, it's not letting me. So I think this whole compilation thing, this to me feels almost like a DevOps. I didn't see anywhere in the homework where it talks about this, so I'm just gonna skip it. And I'm not going to import this React.js. I'm just gonna go ahead and in my layout, in the script here, I'm gonna take it out. Okay. I'm also gonna go ahead and delete the actual file. And I'm sure in the future we'll figure out how to do this, but for now it's not really possible. So the first thing I'm gonna do instead is just copy the logic here for the post feed. Yeah, so just this will do. We want to have a post feed in our following HTML, and we chose to do it in a separate route. We could have done it all together, but whatever. Maybe not whatever. Let's see if we can make it work. Um, if view is equal to default, then we're going to render all of the posts. And so this will be default. The default is basically the um, um, yeah, the default is basically all posts, and then change view. We're going to set the view. Let's see here. Set view of selected view. I don't know. I guess I already decided before that I wanted to do the following in a different route. The only way to do that really is to um, give give that route its own HTML. So I am loading a new HTML there. I could have done it without doing that, but I didn't. And now to change it back, I think it might be a bit of a stretch. Um, and so I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I'm just gonna, if I want to go into following here, um, no, okay. So let's try again. The all posts works, or it was working before at least. Let's try again. No. Yeah, so this is working. So again, we have only test 3 profiles here. If we go into the all posts, we have all of them, test 3 to 1. Now the following is the one that's not working. So I just have to figure out what to input into here. So our post feed takes this reload variable. So let's go up here. We do have a reload variable. So let's just paste that into here. That's our reload. Again, our new post form, our post feed takes a set user handle, request a user profile. So that's all of this, request a user profile, and the handle, which is also all of this. Um, so it's actually all of this handle. Let's see. No, so the set user handle request user profile. It takes this user ID here. Set request a user profile. So it's basically these two here until here. So we're going to copy those as well. Just like that. Okay. Very nice. So that's that. Those are sort of all the dependencies that we need. Handle request user profile. We have that over there. Type post. Everything else is good. Now this post feed here, we want to go ahead and sort of do this. So our post feed is going to go over here in our following. And now we also have to load in, like, what is a post feed? So we have to load in all of this. So just the whole definition of what a post feed is. We have to load that in here. I think it would be up here. It would be up here, more or less. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Like this. Yeah, that looks about right. And here the post type, the type is actually following. Let's try it. Hello to Proceed Gaming. Shout out to. Okay, so why is the following not working? Let's see. Okay, let's try and figure out why we have an error here. It should be defined inside of our main React window. Let me see. So the reload and set reload. Yeah, so it's all this reload and set reload, also the requested profile and the handle requested profile is all defined inside of the main React window, and that is important. And let's see if we can just do that. Okay. We'll take it out of here. And this use state and use effect, I do believe this should go all the way up there. Yeah, so all this, we actually have that somewhere else. And our index is like right at the top. So at the very top of the script tag, we do that, and then we declare a post feed. We have a use effect for post engine. We return whatever we receive, and over here we're just rendering that. And it takes a reload, set user, handle user profile, type following. This should work this time. Let's try it out. And here is the following. And we should see here everything from 3 and 2 because those are two that we're following. So we take out number 1. Let's take out test 1. We'll unfollow them. If we go into our following, we're only going to see the posts from test 2. So this is all working now with pagination. I would say that has been the biggest achievement of today's coding session. So we didn't really do anything new from our last session. What we did is more of like cleaning up. We have to clean up a bit. We had a bit of messy code, spaghetti code. We just factored out a lot of the redundant code, and we um, boiled it down to less code, yet achieving the correct feature that we were trying to implement. So that's that. However, the one thing I did not manage to do is to extrapolate all of my JavaScript into a separate JavaScript file, and then being able to import that into a new template and just calling whatever React component I have there and just using that into a new template. I'm not sure how to do that. Um, we didn't really learn in the course yet about like deploying the application or DevOps. I feel like this is more of a DevOps question. And so we're just going to leave it the way it is. All I did is copy paste a lot of my code, but that's okay. I have it in different templates. And hopefully in the future, I'll figure out how to actually compile my React files and like basically translate them from I think it's JSX into regular JS, and then that's basically what you need in order to deploy. I don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Okay, so here pagination on any page that displays posts. Again, all the pages that display posts are my all posts route, where I can see all of my posts. Also, a user profile displays the user's profile with their posts with pagination everywhere, obviously, as you could see. Um, Great. The pagination is working right. And also if I hit following, I have the people that I'm following. Now, let's say we follow number 1 instead of 2. Let's unfollow 2 and then follow 1. If I go on following, then I have all of test 1, and I have the pagination that is working as well. So this is a lot. I mean, this is like, again, we didn't do really anything new from the last session. We just cleaned up this time. But I mean, debugging and making sure the software is stable and making sure that everything works is also coding. And so that's basically what the 2 hours today went on. I see we only have 12 minutes left for the stream. But basically what we can do now is mark this out. So on any page that's displayed, suppose we already confirmed we checked all 3 pages that display post, the all post route, the user profile route, and the following route. They're all working properly. They all have pagination, which is working correctly in every single different case. And they all show 10 posts at a time. And therefore, I think we can call this done. So everything has been implemented, and we can close with a comment. And now if we go into our network project, basically, look, this is all the stuff we have done. I know it's only 4 or 5, there's only 5 cards in here. I'm telling you, this is a lot. This is taking us, how many times already? This is taking us 15 days. So that's 30 hours to get here. And what more of a, all I have to say is what more of a proof, yeah, to live stream my 2 hours of day of coding, and just you can see, you can go back on the channel and review it and see the progress, a realistic progress of someone who, I'm just an average guy. I have a very busy life, yet I find the 2 hours per day and I try to really get into it and show you guys where I am. And you could see really the type of progress. Again, it's 30 hours, but which sounds like a long time, but it really feels like working on a gym. Like I really feel like I've gained a lot of skills with React in those 30 hours. But let's just say now after 30 hours, yeah, we are basically, I don't know, maybe like 75%, 80% of our homework completed. Okay. And so now, let's go back into the spec for the homework and see what else we could do. Here's the my YouTube page. And here's the playlist where all of the series, I'm going to put all the series into here. Yeah, I think it's a great way. I'm just going to have one playlist, which is coding this homework. Maybe I'll have a new playlist coming up in the future of the final project. Maybe I can have a different playlist for my first freelance customer, etc. So basically, it's just the beginning now. But here in this one, you can see my progress from knowing zero React, and my JavaScript was very basic, to now 30 hours later. You can see the type of gains that you can get for yourself if you put 30 hours into learning to code. And again, it doesn't feel like it's 30 hours because I'm only doing 2 hours per day, and then I forget about it. And I refresh the batteries. Okay, so let's go back to the homework page here and see what the story is. So what the specification is. So basically we completed pagination. This is working very well. And the edit post, users should be able to click on edit button. When a user clicks edit for one of their own posts, the content of their post should be replaced with the text area where the user can edit the content of their post. The user should then be able to save. And using JavaScript, obviously you want to reload the posts again. And this is some sort of security feature. We have to differentiate. I guess it makes sense because right now, if we go into our main route, we do see here that I can edit any post, even posts that are not mine. So now I'm logged in as test 3 and test 2 post. It also shows me an edit button. So how could it be that I can edit test someone else's post? So we're gonna have to deal with that soon. And I do see this as like a bit involved. So let's keep continuing here. Maybe we'll implement this last feature first before we implement the edit post feature. So like and unlike, users should be able to click a button or link on any post to toggle whether or not they like that post or not. Using JavaScript, you should asynchronously let the server know to update the like count, okay, and then update the post like count displayed on the page without requiring a reload of the entire page. Now, I did cheat a little bit on this spec last time. Um, so I am not necessarily loading the whole page, but I am loading my entire post feed. And the post feed is divided into pages of 10 posts each page, but that's not necessarily the HTML. The main HTML page, I'm not reloading, I'm only reloading basically 10 posts at a time. And I do believe that's at least, I don't know that that's the ideal way. I do believe it's a correct way of doing it, and that we can pass we're fulfilling the specification of the homework by doing it that way. And so I do think that the like unlike feature is going to be a lot easier to implement. It's going to be a lot easier to implement than the editing the posts. Should be able to click a button or a link on any post and tell it whether they like that post or not, using JavaScript, etc. And I do believe that doesn't make a difference if the person is if it's their own post, if it's not their own post, someone else's post. So actually, now I'm thinking out loud here. It might even be um, a lot more complicated than I originally thought. But basically, I think that the default should be a empty heart emoji, empty heart emoji. Let's see. I don't know that one, or outline, heart outline emoji. Yeah, something like well, let's try black heart suit. Black heart suit. Yeah, so I don't know. Like emoji. Let's see, thumbs up outline emoji. Um, Let's try in here. Like. I'd like to have like a thumbs up outline emoji. I do have a bit of a bias for Emojipedia. I'd rather get it from here. Um, let's try outline, just outline emoji. Heart. Thumbs up. Like heart outline emoji. Yeah, I want this one like this. Yeah, like this one. Okay, so let's try this. It'll go in here. Yeah, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so this will be on the left here, like the type of heart that we want. If there is no like, and then once we like it, it will turn to red. So this is probably where we're gonna start tomorrow. So we'll stop here. We're up to 2 hours now. So wishing you all the best in your coding journey. See you in the next coding session. And just remember, 2 hours a day goes a long way. You'll see we're already almost 32 hours into the homework, which is crazy, right? It seems like a long time to work on homework. But I really do feel like I've picked up React in around 2 3 weeks with just 2 hours per day, and I've picked up React um, fairly efficiently. I mean, I think that once I finish this homework and I work on my final project, afterwards, I think I'll be ready. If I really do feel like I have enough knowledge to even get a junior job somewhere or to start working on a meaningful, real application. So, wishing you all the best in your coding journey. See you in the next coding session. It's okay.